Okay, hey everybody, welcome back. This is going to be the reading for all my fire signs for the month of August, my birthday month. Yep. For my fire signs out there, we are going to use the Chakra Zodiac Healing Oracle deck. And for those of y'all who don't know, this is my second favorite deck that I own, because obviously it's full of, it has nothing but chakras, and it has astrology, it has the planets, it has the asteroids, it has obviously the zodiac signs, the zodiac symbols. And I always say this is not a very cute deck, not at all, but I love it. It gives me the best readings because obviously I love astrology and I connect to astrology. So let's go right into the reading for August, shall we? I'm not going to repeat myself because I already explained what happened with July and June. I apologize again, but if you watch this is a real quick, simple explanation. You don't really have to watch it, but I'm sorry. I'm doing August. So let's go ahead and pull the cards for fire sign. Ooh, we have Jupiter. Now, y'all know we have a lot of retrogrades going on. We have a lot of them going on for this year period. We talked about that on practical spirituality, and I think I uploaded the video. If I didn't upload the video, it will be uploaded. No, I already uploaded the video. Well, the audio, I should say, from the show. So if you missed the show, then all you gotta do is just look for practical spirituality and then click on the retrograde show. And that was a cool show. Marianne, our gratitude goddess, came back on, and of course Glammy was there and I was there, and we was talking about all the retrogrades and how to work with them. And we actually had some asteroid retrogrades, which most people don't even think happens. And while most people will think asteroids don't affect us that much, I truly believe that all energies affect us in some way, either from a distance or closer. Either way, it affects us in some way, how, shape, or form, depending on your own personal astrology chart. Some things will affect you obviously more than other things. But let's get back to the reading. Okay, so with fire, the first thing we're going to start with is Jupiter. Jupiter is always, now Jupiter says luck and prosperity, and when most people deal with Jupiter, they think of prosperity, but Jupiter really just is expansion. And you can expand anything, and that's the catch to Jupiter. You know, there's some people who work with Jupiter and they're doing prosperity spells, but it's not coming back right, and that's because in order to work with Jupiter, you have to have your Venus, your Mars, and your Mercury in place, or in a certain lineup, you know, within you, or basically saying you have to have your values, which is your Venus, which actually deals with your prosperity, your Mercury, which is your thinking and how you communicate, and your Mars, which is your energy. You basically, how I work with Mars is your energy, how you build your energy, and what's there, that raw primal energy that you have, and how you fine tune with other planets. Have all that in place first, and then you can start working with planets like Jupiter and Saturn and stuff like that, and work on expanding things. So this one's talking about expansion. Now this one says resistance and energy block, but it's upside down. So that means right now there's really no resistance there. And you know, for those, even though this is a reading for fire people, for those who are fire signs, this reading, just like the water reading, really is again for everybody, because when you understand fire has the ability to create or destroy, and most of the time simultaneously you're doing both. You're creating and destroying at the same time. It's just a matter of which side of the coin you're looking at, or you know, which side of the fire you're looking at. Are you looking at the wood burning, which is being destroyed, or are you looking at the heat from the fire and what's on top of the fire being created? It really depends on which way you look at it. The next one is Pluto. Pluto is transformational planet. It's a planet of rebirth. And right now Pluto is in retrograde, which basically means it's not a time to show your outer rebirth, but to go deep in and rebirth. So basically, so far we got an expansion of a rebirth happening, and a lot of people I've given readings to, this has been like so true. They feel like they're going crazy. Like as soon as they see something, as soon as they get something, Their spirit is onto something else. They're noticing things they didn't notice before. They're hearing sounds they didn't hear before. The elemental creatures, whether it be birds or actual elementals like dragons and stuff, they're noticing stuff. This is stuff they never dealt with before. This spiritual transformation is taking over on a massive scale. And in saying that, you have to be very careful with what you take in, what you eat. Because when you understand vibration, is nothing more than waves and stuff, and it all deals with touch. You have to be careful of what sounds touches your ears, what light vibrations that we see as pictures touch our eyes. For some people, to an extent, now it's a very sensitive time, so you have to be careful what foods touch their tongue. You have to be careful of what thoughts go in your head. Consciously touch with which subconscious thoughts consciously touch your conscious thoughts, which create the words that come out of your mouth. It's a very time to be conscious and pay attention to all the stuff that's going on. Which is the next card, deals with love and relationships, which is the heart chakra. Now, the heart chakra is the gateway, is the key to the kingdom, and the kingdom being your throat chakra, your third eye, your crown chakra. The heart chakra is considered the doorway to those, because the heart chakra holds your desires, and based on how you treat your desires will depend on based on how you treat your desires and how you feel about them, will depend on the words that come out your mouth, will depend on how open your third eye is, and whether you can see things the way you want them to be, or things is how they should be, as opposed to what your eyes are seeing out and what's being reflected to you. So that and your crown chakra being open to all the spiritual energies and stuff around you. That's even though this is being reflected to you, your third eye is projecting out this, and your crown eye chakra is bringing the image down and projecting it out, and you're able to voice something different than what's being reflected to you. Hopefully that didn't go over your heads, but basically that's what that's saying with the heart chakra. Saying that with this expansion, with this new rebirth that's coming out of you, be mindful of the things that's coming in. It's like having a brand new baby. You're not going to let everybody touch a new baby. A newborn baby, you're not going to let everybody touch it. When you start getting labor pains and you're about to birth a baby, you not want everybody touching your baby. For guys, when you buy a brand new car, you're not going to let everybody ride in the car with you. You're not going to let everybody touch the car. You're not going to let them put their fingerprints on the windows, and you brand new, or not brand new, your car, you just washed it. You're not going to have everybody touching on it. You just cleaned it up. Okay. And then Mercury is upside down. Now Mercury is the messenger, and the reason why it's upside down is because the messages right now should be coming from, and with this spiritual rebirth, the messages should not be coming around you. That should be blocked at this time, and it should be coming from inside of you. And while it's coming from inside of you, this is creating the new person who you are meant to become. Allow this time, allow that fire energy to burn up any old fuel, any old wood, any old thoughts. Burn it up so that way you can have room to create new thoughts as it's coming. If you have thoughts about relationships, allow that to burn, and as it's burning, simultaneously create new thoughts. I can talk today. I seem to always have issues with, but I can talk today. I can talk. Yes, I can. But basically, that's the reading for fire. My nose is starting to run. Excuse me. Okay, I'm back. My nose is starting to run. But basically, yeah, with the fire energy, it's time to go ahead and do a full, let your spirit expand. It's the perfect time, again, with all these retrogrades, with Neptune in retrograde, which deals heavily with spirituality and illusions. It's time to let the illusions go, but let the spiritual side of you expand. It's time to let it come out. I believe Saturn just came out of retrograde. With that, you're creating new dynamics for yourself. You're creating new ways of doing things for yourself, and those new ways of doing things are going to create new habits. Those new habits are going to create new vibrations. New vibrations are going to bring new things to you. So this is a great time to go ahead and let the energies do what they do. And excuse me if I keep looking at myself. It looks like one of my eyes is red, and I keep looking to see if it's red or not. But anyway, yeah. So with that, as usual, we have 2 shows a month. First show is Seeking Empowerment, and that's all about the actual title of the show is Retrograde Reflections, but it deals with your environment, which again goes with this reading as well as other reading. And it's showing you how your environment, well, we're going to show you how your environment affects you but also how you can stop allowing that to happen, and how instead of letting the reflections that you see, the vibrations out there touch you, you already have your vibration up high enough, your ego up high enough. I'll explain that too on the show. You'll have your ego up strong enough so that you're reflected on the world, and now the world, instead of you reacting to the world must react to you. The energy must match your own. The biggest secret in the law of attraction is that you do not attract what you want, you attract what you are. So with that, we want to learn to actually be the thing of that which we want to attract. And it's very simple. And we'll go into that again on the show. The other show we have is Practical Spirituality. And Seeking the Power with me and Eric Teamer. On Common Sense Conversations. I'll put all that, Common Sense Conversations, put all that in the thing. And then we have Practical Spirituality, which is me and Glammy and Marianne, whenever she decides to join us. We all know the Gratitude Goddess. We allow her to do whatever the hell she wants when she wants. Yes, we do. But also this month we have Elijah, who is a practicing nurse. For those of you who didn't watch the water video, she's a practicing nurse, and she's also a crystal healer. And she could do it remotely and up close, but the reason why I wanted to highlight her for this show is because I didn't want to go with somebody who's never actually worked with my energy, which is practically a lot of people. A whole lot of people's never worked with my energy, at least not with my permission. But she has actually done a healing on me, and while I admit my body had little weird tweaks and stuff, it really felt good. I was on like a high for days. At like 2 days later, it felt like my skin was like at least a shade or two lighter, and she knows her stuff, put it like that. And I want to bring people on a show that I have worked with. I don't want to don't get me wrong, endorsing everybody is great, but I want to endorse people who I have personally worked with, and that way I can at least say I know it worked for me. So if it worked for me, then I have no problem, suggesting to other people, or suggesting the experience of what happened, when I got it, to other people, so they know what to look for. Because with crystal healing, just like any other healing, I don't think people understand exactly what the body goes through. So, and I'm sure she'll go into it too on the show. But yeah, so Elijah, I'll have her information in the link. She's going to be on the show talking about crystal healing and manifesting with crystals. A lot of us know we can manifest with crystals. A lot of us, crystals, that is not a word. What the hell? But a lot of us can manifest with crystals. We know that, but for those who don't know how, we're going to go into that. For those who do know how, we're going to go into other ways that you may not have thought of. Maybe combining some of the crystals you never thought of, or how to actually put that energy in there. And of course it's practical spirituality, so we're going to keep it practical, not, that so far out theory. It's going to be stuff that we can actually do. With that. So, also in dealing with crystals, again, I'm going to do another shameless plug. Yes, I am. I'm going to do a shameless plug if I can find the book. Oh. Crystals and stones, colors and stones, I can read. Colors and stones and colors. And again, this is for preschool age up to, I would say, pre-KK, and to an extent first grade, but really pre-K and K. And before. But this is just introducing colors to kids through crystals. And again, I showed pages in the other video, so now you can see maybe a different page. And basically it just tells you, it gives you a stone, it gives you the color of the stone, it gives you what the stone actually does, a way to work with the stone, and it also gives you a question to interact with the child. Again, as I said before, first of all, this is my most favorite. This is like not my most favorite, but this is I should be my most favorite, honestly, because this is the best selling one that I got. This one sells the most because parents love it. And I've had, like I said before, a few parents say that they bought it. They don't have kids, they bought it for themselves, just because it was an easy way for them to start working with stones and learning it. So, shameless plug. And I'm going to be plugging this book all month, so get used to it. Yep, I'm plugging this book all freaking month. And I might do a different one next month. And the reason why I'm plugging the book is because I have been reprimanded, I should say, by people who truly love me, saying that, even though my books are selling, I'm not promoting them enough from my side. So I am doing my best to start doing that, so y'all can get off my back and leave me alone. Love y'all. But yeah, so that's that. I think I covered everything. So this is for my fire people. Love that fire energy, the energy to create and destroy. And again, it's duality. It's both two sides of the same coin. You can't have one without the other. So allow spirit to do what it needs to do. Let it expand and just go with the flow, boo. Go with the flow. All right, everybody stay blessed to be a blessing. Peace.